Hello, my name is Prime, and welcome to a very special episode of ATS Showcases because this marks the 1000th upload I have done on the Prime Simulation channel, which is a huge milestone. 1000 is a large number, and I'll talk about that in just a few moments' time. And to mark this special occasion, I am going to be driving this beautiful International Paystar 5070 mod, a free truck mod available on the Steam Workshop, and this mod comes packed with plenty of configuration options and some beautiful sounds. So this International Paystar 5070 mod is what I like to class as an all-inclusive truck mod, which is the best kind in my opinion, where it comes with plenty of configuration options, which I'll show off in just a second, but it also comes with its very own sound mods. So in terms of cabin, we have only the day cab configuration for this Paystar. There are 3 different chassis configurations, a short, a medium, and a long. In the engine department, there are a number of options available, all custom sound mods with some Detroit options and a few different engine lines, along with some different Cummins engines as well, including the Cummins NTC 400, which we are using today. The list of transmissions is extensive, but for today's video, we are using this 13-speed Fuller. This beautiful interior has one option available, this Sierra Tan. There are plenty of color options available stock with the mod, and there are also a few custom paint schemes, including this first one, the 10816, which I'm using in today's video. And now when it comes to exterior accessories, there are plenty of options available, changing different paint and trim options, adding different styles of bumpers, including what is named the Chunky Chunker, which I am using for today's video, different mirrors, headlight trims, rear mud flaps, and more. There is plenty to configure on this Paystar to make it your very own. Now, as this is a classic truck, there's not a ton of customization on the interior other than a few accessories, including the ashtray and adding a GPS of your choice. I am using the cell phone in today's video, and other than adding, say, an accessory on the seat, the interior of the truck is pretty much what you get, but honestly, given its looks, I'm not going to complain about that. So overall, a very cool mod, one that I would highly recommend you check out. And to put this International Paystar to the test, we are going to be hauling some logs today, given its rugged nature, and as a matter of fact, we actually have to load the logs today using the dynamic loading feature, and we're here at Chuck and Jack's just outside of El Dorado, Arkansas, and by the looks of things, we have to go all the way up to the top section here to pick up the logs and get loaded. All right, let's get this show on the road and pull up here and get loaded. Hopefully everyone's doing well. I certainly am. It is great to be back here in American Truck Simulator, and what better way to celebrate 1000 uploads here on the Prime Simulation channel than do a fantastic retro style truck mod here on the channel and do a proper showcase of a beautiful truck. So we got to make a right hand turn here and swing around. Go. We've got a 4-poster logger on the back here today with the fence at the right by the truck, so that we don't have a log go flying through the back of our beautiful Paystar here. And it looks like we're going up by the power lines, which is kind of neat. I've never been to this Chuck and Jack's facility yet, actually here in the Arkansas DLC. Decided to come back down here to Arkansas. I was honestly trying to do a logging delivery around, looking at some options, and found this because I haven't been to this facility. So I thought, you know what? Let's try this out. I like the dynamic loading, and I'm going to try and utilize the dynamic unloading feature as well, which hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be able to do going to the destination I will mention once we get the logs loaded into this truck. So it looks like if we just come around the corner here, I think we should be coming up just up the hill, and yep, there we go. We can start to see it on the phone, and there is our beautiful green loading dock. And would you look at that, there's the loader waiting for us. So let's go ahead and pull through here and let it start to load us up. I honestly love the dynamic loading and unloading feature that's starting to roll out across ATS for various cargoes. Honestly, such a neat addition to the game, and one I'm so happy SES Software started to implement. Yes, it's not perfect, and yes, it's not across every cargo type, but they're getting there, which is honestly all I could really ask for when it's all said and done. how many grabs is it going to do today? 2 or 3, can't really tell. I can't remember actually if it's standard across at all, if it's a little bit randomized. I think it's normally 3 grabs, and then we have a full load if my memory serves me correctly. But while we're on the exterior here and stopped, why don't we take a little bit of a moment here to acknowledge the beauty of this retro truck. I love these classic trucks. I wish more of them were in the game stock, but that's what the modding community is for, and how these things are absolutely fantastic. I mean, these mods sound, look amazing, and oh, perfect. Our cargo has been loaded, which I'll show where we're going in just a moment here. But these mods are so important for the game, honestly, for me. They sound great. They look good as well, and I think they were going to be putting this truck to the test, but it's tough. It can handle it. So not only does it have to deal with rugged terrain, we have to deal with some highway as well. So we're going to be heading all the way up to Poplar Bluff today in Missouri. So, I was planning on going elsewhere in the ATS map for this delivery. However, this delivery arose, and I honestly couldn't pass it up. I wanted to do, full transparency, a little bit of a shorter delivery for the sake of this Paystar. But I know the truck can handle a slightly longer trip, and that's what we're going to be doing today. And the biggest thing is that in Poplar Bluff, we are delivering to Chuck and Jacks again. And as far as I know, we should be able to do dynamic unloading at this facility. Alrighty, we are on the move. So let's talk about the elephant in the room here. Upload number 1000. I mean, this is a huge milestone for me here on the channel. And I mean, I say me, but honestly, I should say us. This is a we situation, my friends. It's not just a me. Although it is a big personal achievement, really, for the sake of the channel. And I am kind of blown away that we've actually hit that number, to be honest. But it is a we situation, and the fact that this community is what has made these 1000 videos possible. I mean, that's not a small number by no means. And we're talking terabytes of videos recorded and uploaded and available for you all to watch, which is absolutely insane. And I thank you all so much for the support over the past, well, what, over 5 years now? Insane. I obviously do this because this is something I truly enjoy doing, right? And it's not necessarily about the numbers or anything like that. I've said that many times before, and that's the same message I will preach once again, because that's the honest truth. That's where my motivation comes from. I love doing these videos. I love playing various simulation games, and that is my motive. However, achieving something like this, where we've reached 1000 uploads on the channel across playing various games, obviously American Truck Simulator being kind of the bread and butter, but say I'm a little bit more into ATS 2, and some other games alike over the past that I've dabbled into as trying to find myself, basically. It's been honestly a dream come true, and I am so excited for what the future holds here. And these 1000 uploads coincide with the dramatic, it's not traumatic, it's dramatic increase in subscribers, viewership, and so on that the channel is receiving, especially as of late, which again, numbers aren't really important, but they're important in their own right, especially in the YouTube world, as in some fashion, unfortunate as it is the truth that numbers don't lie at times. And as human, I think a lot of people will agree that when you see whatever number it may be, even if you don't want it to be, inherently, you can kind of get a little bit of a almost performance metric out of it. And I mean, I don't want to ever think of it like that way. We're going to utilize this middle lane here to get up to speed and get over into traffic. Here we go. It's just, I think, innate human nature to at sometimes compare, you know, numbers for things, as unfortunate as it is. I try not to, but it is human nature. But the fact that the channel has seen significant growth and continues to grow substantially every single day. You all are so engaged with the videos, give me tons of feedback, correct me a lot as well, which I am completely open to. and we just have a lot of fun. I try to balance, obviously, the mix between realism and, you know, having fun in the games, making mistakes, because I am not perfect and I'm never going to pretend to be perfect at all. So that's why I crash. I do whatever. I get distracted while I'm trying to talk and narrate and do all these other things. And something happens, right? We're in a simulator. Obviously, I can reset. And that's maybe part of the reason why at times I do have these crashes, because I know there isn't really a consequence. In real life, obviously, I act and drive very differently because there is a real life consequence to it. And although I try to do the same here in the game to be realistic, at the same time, I want to have some fun, right? I'm going to just do some things that probably aren't as legit. Hopefully everyone gets a laugh out of it, or at me at very least, and we go from there, right? I mean, that's kind of the whole point of this whole thing, right? But no, 1,000 uploads is a huge milestone for me, and I thank you all so much for joining me on this journey, and the journey is only begun, at least as far as I know. I can't control what the future holds, but I can definitely do my part to make sure that things continue to progress in a manner that will promote a lot of growth here on the channel, and also for me to make sure that I can continue to do it to my full degree of enjoyment without any big burden or hassle. And that's kind of like what I've done recently with the sim rig upgrade that I talked about in the previous episode, which thank you everyone for enjoying and sharing that video and welcoming me back a little bit to the more consistent uploads, which I'm going to be doing more now. And it's just one of those things, my friends, that you know, the sim rig upgrade, I can basically say what's happened. I've kind of finished off the whole area of which the room that I do all these recordings in now. You know, various new displays, whole basically some tweaks to the sim rig setup in terms of setup itself, different microphone placements and so on, trying to fine-tune things even more to once again make it a lot easier for me to record on a consistent basis, which is one of the biggest things. Making sure that then, oh, there's a truck there, he came flying up. Making sure that then when it comes to editing, things can get more consistent as well with audio and so on. Again, streamlining things, because this is not a full-time job, right? Again, this is a passion of mine. This is something that I truly enjoy doing, and I enjoy the entire creative process in doing this for all of you, along with myself. But there can be frustrations along the way. You know, computers do their things. Technology is wonderful, but also a curse in many ways and forms. So I try to make sure that things can be a little bit more autonomous in certain aspects. Obviously not using, you know, AI or anything like that, but when it comes to the more using smart tools to basically allow me to do things more efficiently, and that's the biggest thing. I'm all about trying to find efficiencies and improve processes. It's kind of in my innate nature. So I'm applying that to here as well, to just try and make it more enjoyable at the end of the day, really. Because again, sometimes doing this after a long day, you can be a little bit more frustrated. At least I can at times. That's something that this is a good outlet for me to sometimes just come on here and rant for everyone, and I gotta get over. I am not exiting. Nearly had a wrong exit already, which would have been just the cream of the crop, really, for me. Wouldn't be too much of a surprise there. But overall, thank you all so much for the support. I mean, being able to do these sim rig upgrades is actually a direct response to the support that you all show on these videos, and all of the wonderful people I've collaborated with in terms of corporate partners as well. Thank you so much for being able to, or be right there with me throughout this journey. I've come a long ways. If you go back to video number 1 on the channel, well, actually, it was a channel trailer, which I don't even know if that's actually, I think I left pretty much everything, if not everything, up I've ever done on the channel, because I don't really remove anything. I think that's still there, but going back to like the first, you know, city skylines and 911 operator videos I did, I've come a long way personally, and I know the community has well in terms of what in all honesty, what you expect from me as a content creator. I know a lot of you, and I thank you for this, don't really have expectations, or just an expectation of whatever I put out, you're just going to enjoy, or hopefully enjoy, and go from there, which I do appreciate. But I know some of you have come to expect a certain degree of quality from me, which is fair because I expect it from myself as well, to a certain degree. Again, as I mentioned, I'm going to make mistakes. I am no near perfect, nor do I try to be, because that's just something that is never going to work. And I actually got to get all the way to the left here by the looks of it. It's just never going to happen. But what I can try to control is the things that I do have actually, well, some hand on, and that is, you know, video quality and being able to do upgrades, which again is because of the monetary support, but just even watching the videos with the ads and so on. That's a huge part that can allow me to do these upgrades to continually, well, make new content for you and improve along the way. Besides the personal side, because I know I've grown a lot. The commentary has come a long way. Again, not perfect, never will be, and I don't think I'll ever strive to be that. But the comfort level of being able to carry on these conversations, some of you don't want to listen to me, and that's fair. Just mute the video and watch it along, and it's whatever you want to do. I try to do a balance at times, but overall, thank you so much. It is a true honor to be able to do this, and a privilege, and I cannot wait for the next 1,000 videos plus to come on the Prime Simulation channel, and potentially more. Who knows? I've been yabbering a lot these last few minutes. Let's go ahead and do some cinematic cam here and listen. Oh, actually, we're going to go around the corner first because I am learning 1,000 videos deep. I am finally learning not to do cinematic camera on a corner. So once we get around this corner, we're going to do some cinematic camera, and you can listen to this beautiful NTC 400 rolling down the highway. Wonderful sounding indeed. Now we are definitely revving it out pretty high though. It is a 13 speed as I mentioned in the intro there. Kind of an overview of the truck for those who didn't watch it. This is a 13 speed transmission in this truck along with the 400 horsepower Cummins NTC. Again, quite lovely sounds I must say. This does come with the truck mod itself. So it's just a plug and play thing. Once again, on the Steam Workshop, free mod, download it, add it to your profile, buy it in your local mod dealer, basically, and you're good to go. No extra mods and potential complications. Everything works with its own mod. It's beautiful. It's the way I kind of like it for these truck mods. Just having this basically all-in-one package to be able to enjoy, which is absolutely fantastic, something that I am always happy to do. And being able to drive a more classic truck today is something that I really wanted to do, and you know what? Marking a fantastic occasion along with it as well. Why not come back to the Arkansas DLC? Beautiful DLC, wonderful landscape, and just so happen to drive into Missouri, into Poplar Bluff, where we haven't been yet anyways. So kill a number of birds with one stone. Why not, right? Now, I think we can actually go ahead and maybe pass this truck here. So we got some extra speed. However, we're not going to pull out in front of that car. So we're going to use this mighty Paystar and get by this Mac. Is this the Anthem or is it the Pinnacle? I think it's that Pinnacle? Yeah, it's the Pinnacle. International versus Mac. Prime Simulation versus fuel economy, apparently, by just absolutely flooring it up the hill. But that's okay. But coming back to these classic trucks, yes, the mods, I love them so dearly, and they allow us to be able to do this, but I've talked about it before in episodes. I'm going to say it once again. STS Software, if you're watching this, please, can we get some more of these historic trucks? Please. I get that they're not the newest ones, and I always love seeing the new trucks come in, right? But as an ATS enthusiast, I must say, these classic trucks just have something different about them, and so be it if you have to only buy them through the used market and then fix them. I guess if that's the way we have to play ball, that's the way we have to do it. Now I have to get over here, Mustang, so you're gonna have to give me some space. Thank you, lad. I mean, to be honest, when I said thank you, lad, I wasn't actually looking behind me, so a little bit of a hope and a prayer that he actually didn't stop, but that's okay. That's okay. It's not a perfect thing. If the AI is dumb enough to go along the side of a logger trailer and truck, which actually I say that it happens in real life. All you real life truckers know that there are some ambitious people when it comes to passing trucks in lane closures, for whatever reasons. So I always got to check my mirrors. I got to remember to do that, definitely. But anyways, these classic trucks just have something about them. And even if we had to buy them within the used dealer, I would happily see them stock in American Truck Simulator. And I know a lot of you would agree. Yes, I love the brand new trucks coming in. Obviously, it's great to have content that, it's just hanging out there again. My word. The guy just does not want to let it up. It's great to have new trucks come in anyways. I'm never going to complain about that. But I love these classic trucks. I always like to see highly rated ones on the Steam Workshop. I keep an eye out for them all the time, and this one was a very popular one, or still is a very popular one, and I had to drive it. Simple as that. And again, marking a special occasion, kind of getting back into the proper mod showcases is what ATS Showcases started for. Doing these one-off deliveries, which is basically now the cream of the crop for the channel, right? It's the bread and butter. The ATS Showcase series is huge, and this is what the origin of it was, doing these mod showcases and doing these new features, basically. And that's what I really enjoy doing with this series, and that's what this whole video is about. Marking milestones with where it kind of originated in some sense as well. So overall, great to be driving this truck, and great to be back here in Arkansas. I mean, we've been camping out here in Missouri quite a bit, and even into Kansas a bit as well in the previous episodes. I am going to move around a little bit more now, as I mentioned in the previous episode, or for those who didn't watch it. I'm going to be moving around the map a little bit more, doing some different stuff. Probably head back into California, into the reworked section. Well, I guess the whole state now. Drive around a bit more there. Go back through kind of the northwest section and so on. I do some different deliveries as well in anticipation for more Eastern map DLCs coming, well, just around the corner for us in some senses. So I'm just going to try and diversify things as well, but I've got a number of cool mods coming up, a few things I'm going to be collaborating with individuals on, which is exciting in its own right, and we're going to go from there. But I got a number of these specialty showcases lined up, so just wait for them to come, my friends, along with some of our other wonderful STS software truck deliveries as well. I've got a number of things planned. The list is quite long. Lots of content on the go. I've got some tutorials in the pipeline as well. The most popular videos on the channel of those 1,000 uploads happen to be the tutorials. So yeah, a popular one indeed. Let's do some quick engine braking. Very effective engine brake as well. There is definitely a lot of drag on this engine, and actually we have to end up getting into the left lane here. We will do so up once the light goes green. We'll try and bully our way across, I think. Maybe I should have anticipated it a little bit better, but we will see how it goes. I don't know if you shouldn't have heard the Steam notification, but maybe you did. I don't know. It depends on how my Go XLR and OBS has decided to record this today because sometimes it resets on me, which is beautiful. That's another rant for another day, though. I got a Steam achievement for, I guess it's Missouri, discovering or visiting all the different cities. Kind of cool. Poplar Bluff was the last one that I hadn't been to yet, technically. And I was planning on doing a video going kind of in this southeastern section anyways. But, again, the way the cards fell today just had us going, oh, we can't go... Okay, we gotta go left here. Oh, thank you, Pinnacle. I appreciate your hospitality and letting me go over here. And we gotta follow the truck here. And we'll be making a left as well. Oh, can we catch the green? Can we catch the green? It's going yellow. We're gonna behave and stop. I could have maybe gotten away with it, but we're not gonna do that today. We'll be good. I was planning on doing something for Missouri in the southeastern section, and I still will, but as the cards fell today, we're heading up into Poplar Bluff anyways, so it worked out, honestly, and I think this delivery has actually gone, I don't want to say it, but pretty smoothly. Knowing my luck now, I'll get to the dynamic unload here, and it will just not work, or it just, for that matter, won't dynamically unload, because that is how my luck goes in these videos. And yeah, I did do the precautionary measure, which a tip for anyone who hasn't heard this before. When you're trying to do if you're doing a dynamic delivery, for example, logging, chip van, grain, whatever, and you are going to a facility in a newer DLC that does have dynamic unloading, or should have it at very least, select in your options menu, always select, how confusing is that, for the delivery option, or the parking difficulty, I guess I should say. By selecting, always select for the parking difficulty, instead of it being, you know, easy or skilled, whatever it may be. By selecting, always select, you can then see which one is the dynamic unload when you get to the facility that you're actually delivering to. Instead, I've had issues in the past where the facility technically does have dynamic unload, but because I had it set to skilled parking, it does not always, or at least it didn't at that point, and my brakes are really sensitive in this truck, it did not always do the dynamic unload. And in fact, it normally didn't, because the dynamic unload feature is actually one of the easier parking options for the deliveries, because you're just driving into a spot 90% of the time. So keep that in mind. That is what I'm trying to say. For me, if I'm going to be doing a delivery like that, I always select, or I choose always select in the options, and I'm guaranteed to get the dynamic loading feature if it is available at that location. If I'm not doing a delivery that has the dynamic loading or unloading, well, I generally leave it at my skilled parking and generally struggle to park, because that is just the nature of the beast here on Prime Simulation. So we're turning in the Chuck and Jacks here. I guess going from one of their logging sites to their mill, or at least processing facility. Yep. Looks like it, which is absolutely great. So if we pull around here, by the looks of it, yep, we'll be turning in. And I will have to select the parking type. So we're going to take a right-hand turn here. We'll roll through, wait for the gate to open. And then hit our parking spot. Select our delivery type, and hopefully dynamically unload, which would be great. Because that's what my whole thing is. Oh, there we go. Where do we need it? So that is perfect. That is the dynamic one. That is where we want to go with. But sometimes that is the skilled parking one. So it's hard to say. I think it just depends on your location, or maybe they've changed it. I do not know. But okay, where's our location now? I think it's... Oh, it's around the side there. I can see the crane arm over the top of the... Oh, there it is. It's updated on the map now. see the arm over the building from the exterior view. Maybe they've updated it. I do not know. Comment down below if you've actually noticed that change, or if it's maybe just my luck of the draw here with this facility. So we're going to spin around. One thing about this truck I have noticed is that the mirrors are really wide out. So my field of view can't really see it when driving, and I don't have something easy for everyone to see this. So it's just best for me to, go exterior or turn more aggressively once every here and there. But we're going to watch this thing dynamically unload as I do my outro. Thank you all so much for watching. 1,000 uploads. I can't believe I'm saying that. And once again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for making this possible. I would do this because I enjoy it. However, after 5 years, and if nothing was happening in terms of, all this feedback, this lovely community, engaged community that you all are, that continually support the channel and motivate me to through hard times, create these videos as well. Pushes me to continually improve, and honestly have really changed me as a person for the better, making me from 5 years ago a person that really couldn't carry a conversation through or didn't like to present things a whole lot, to a person that at least can carry a conversation through a video and not be so cringeworthy that you don't want to listen to it. So I thank you for that, and thank you so much for the support on these various videos and series. Again, true honor, and I cannot wait to see where the channel goes in the next 1,000 videos and beyond. Comment down below if you want to see anything else from me for different truck mods maybe, or different cargo mods or so on here in ATS or other games alike. I'm always open to your suggestions and adding many videos per day to my idea log and video log, creating a larger queue for videos here on the channel to be created in due course. Once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.